What's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are having a good one, even though 9 7 10. And it's not the case, but hey, you gotta keep on getting better. You gotta keep on thriving. You gotta keep on living. Welcome back. We're in a different sort of look. You know, you got the background is a little different. Got the light, nice little layout. But yeah, of course, shaved too. It'll grow back in like 2 weeks, so you'll see the next video, and I'll have a full-grown beard. That's how it goes. But yeah, we're not gonna be talking about even hardly much of sales today. I have it on my list of things specifically, but we're getting into some specifics. And to give you kind of a whole gauge about it, really, we're gonna harp into the habits. We're gonna harp into, discipline. We're gonna harp into the consequence factors of just whatever you want to do and first principles. And a big quote that I'll start off, right? Silent mind is the devil's playground. An active mind is God's plan in motion. What does that mean? What does that sort of implement in regards to anything? A lot of times, a lot of us, when we're trying to start something off big, or we have an idea that we're working on and we're adamantly going towards, you get a lot of time throughout your day where if it's not actively, being utilized properly, that's when the silent mind comes in. And you don't have to be religious or not, but when you have a lot of spare time, or you have the time that you get off of work, and that's something else we're gonna talk about. When you have the time that you get off of work and you realize it's spare time and you're not really using it towards the thing that you wanted to do originally, the thing that you're actually trying to do, that's when the bad habits come in. And you have to go back to the past. You have to go back to everything you thought of in the past, whether it's, what your habits were, who you were as a kid, to find out why those bad habits are coming back or circling back. And, that was a huge thing with mine, right? In regards to some of the things I've talked about in the past about, my trouble with, like porn addiction, stuff like that, I had to go back to my past. I had to go back to what was the reason why when we have those silent thoughts, those silent minds, those silent moments where we're just not doing anything, why am I resorting to either that or resorting to doom scrolling, resorting to, all the bad things that they don't amount to anything. And it really came to the fact that in my past, when I was a kid, my sort of lifestyle, which is a great lifestyle, I enjoyed it because I feel like every kid needs to just have a good, time, was, playing video games, obviously, going out with friends, stuff like that, just consuming Instagram, Snapchat, movies, all that stuff, which is great. It's exactly what a kid should do. This kid should just explore, just have fun, go out with people, stuff like that. But there was a certain point where, those specific things that I was doing them so much in regards to video games that my brain was just hooked up on just straight dopamine, because all the little goals you have in your game that you're playing, they keep on feeding you and feeding you and feeding you. If you pick specific games that, target that's when it gets worse. And over time, since you're already learning that, you're already picking it up as you go, you start to consider that life. And so a lot of people, they have a problem when they get off of work and, they just go straight to doom scrolling. They don't feel motivated to actually do the thing that they wanted to do. And sometimes it comes down to going back to your past and seeing what was the reason for that. What was I doing in the past that was an absolute, result out of this? And that is the biggest thing. A lot of the times, especially with that, when you do take that jump, right, from your 9 to 5, a lot of us in our 9 to 5, we don't want to work it. So we put in minimal effort. And think about it, you're doing that for 2 to 3, years at most, or however long you're doing it for. You're doing it consistently. And you keep on not putting in effort. You keep on not putting in effort. Because I don't blame you. I wouldn't want to put in effort either. Especially if it was something that I'm not interested in. And I had something that I was working on the outside. But the biggest thing I learned is, when do you actually want that passion to be your full-time thing? You're going to have to work full-time hours. It's not going to be, when I get off of work, what do you mean, man? You quit your job. You're trying to do your passion. You think 3 or 4 hours a day is really going to work? No, it's going to take 12 hours. It's going to take even more than that. It's going to take 10 hours. And it's a hard sort of adjustment to make because you've been so cloned and so used to working low quality. You've been so used to working low quality jobs that you give low quality results because you don't care. You know that, one thing you know for sure is your consequences. You have to get to the job. If not, you're going to get fired and you're not going to have money. That's your consequence. But when it comes to actually doing the thing you want to do, you don't have consequences. There's no consequences at all. Nobody's going to stop you. Nobody's going to be like, oh, you didn't make that post today, or oh, you didn't call that person up for a meeting. No one's going to stop you because there's no consequences. So we have to understand that when you want to take that big jump out of your 9 to 5, you need to understand the fact that when you do that, you have absolutely zero consequences. Technically, right? You're not relying on somebody, you're not reporting to somebody. It's all up to you. It's all your fault whether you do it or not. And so I've had times when I'm in the military and I have my 4 days or something like that, my days off, and I find it so hard to stay focused, and I find it so hard to keep on doing the thing I wanted to do to hopefully get away from the job that I want to be in, that I don't want to be in. And it came from that. It came from the fact that, in my past, all I was doing was playing video games. Or in my past, at my actual job now, I didn't really care. So I put half-ass effort and I would just be on my phone the entire job time. And, that's something I'm still working on because I have a huge problem with that at the job right now. But that's when you have to start having the self-awareness to understand that. You have to start having the self-awareness to understand why is this, becoming basically a result. And when you get into that mode, you can't really do the things you want to do. And then you go back to doom scrolling, and then you go back to all these bad things. And then you have to end up getting the job call in the back being like, hey, I got to come back to you guys because I have no work. I have no money right now. And now you're back to the cycle. And that comes with another thing with that. A lot of people are not willing to change their lifestyle to get to where they want to be because they're so comfortable in that lifestyle. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm not saying it's going to be, something that you have to do, but you have to take small steps to slowly change how you think, because you can't expect the way you think now to be the same way you think in a few years when you're actually at the place you want to be. It is completely different. It is completely different. Because when you are in that mode, when you are in that, moment where, you're 5 years down the line, you're not thinking about, oh, I have to go out this weekend with the boys and everything. We're probably going to go to another bar again. No. And that's not even, that's an example, right? I still think part of that you can still enjoy. But it's the fact that you need to change your mindset. You need to start thinking differently. And that's, the biggest thing that helped me. And that comes with surrounding yourself with the right people that you want to be around. That comes with giving yourself the discipline to wake up and get the job done. And a lot of people have a hard time with that. So we'll dive into that part. We'll dive into the part of, sometimes the biggest thing is getting up in the morning, right? And I just learned about this yesterday, and I think it's a good way to segue and transition. But if you don't control it, it'll be a downfall. When you wake up, if you have a certain amount of time that you're not really doing much because you have to wait maybe later on in the day to actually do something productive, it just depends. Give yourself something fun to do in the morning, but only do it for about an hour. So that'd be like your first thing you do, And by fun, I don't mean destructive. I don't mean doom scroll. I don't mean, play, video games or something like that. I mean, go take a walk. Go, watch a movie. Go watch TV. Go read. I know that's hard for a lot of people, but if not, maybe hop on the phone with somebody. Find some way to do something that's genuinely fun or genuinely, healthy, as in stimulating, to where when you're ready to get back into the work, when you're ready to get serious, that's how you do it. That's exactly what I did. It's a Saturday. I don't want to work. And part of me said, Saturdays are my days to decompress. And what I did, I was like, all right, I'm going to sleep in a little bit later. And then I'm probably going to walk around the town and stuff like that just to get my blood flowing. And then I was like, okay, I'll watch, one episode of a TV show. And all right, now I'm going to start recording. And now I'm recording right now. But imagine if I just tried jumping into all that, especially when you want to start making big changes for yourself. You got to make it small, man. You got to keep on making it small. And a lot of times people also feel like, the people around you, right? So you have to have the self-respect to understand your energy is not always going to be needed. So if somebody keeps on asking you to go out, sometimes you have to understand that your energy, for that time, because imagine if you go out with that person, hey man, we're going out for drinks and stuff like that, and you personally know in your mind you shouldn't be going out for drinks because you haven't done anything, right? Understand that, reject the offer, and when the time is right, when you feel like, okay, I've done enough, let me enjoy it, that's when you can actually give your energy to those people, and it can be the best time that you have. It's not the time where you feel forced to go out because, you care about what they think. No. I've had it so many times where I had to bail out on people out of nowhere, and it's not because of them. It's because I know I'm not going to give them all my full attention. I know I'm not going to give them my best energy because deep in my mind, I'm thinking I should be doing productive things. But there's certain times though where when I feel ready and I feel okay, I'm like, hey, is there anything going on today? And if there is, I go, because I actually put my time out for that, because I respect my time. You start to realize when you start changing your lifestyle and you start doing stuff that's bigger than yourself, your time is so important. You can't just go around just wasting your time or, just being like, oh, let's go to that. No, your time is important. And when you keep on rejecting the people that are around you in regards to actually hanging out with them and stuff, that, builds your respect, because they're going to respect you more as the fact that you're like, okay, this guy's actually doing something. This guy's actually doing things. And they'll respect that over time. They're not going to respect it in the beginning, but they'll respect it over time when they start seeing the outcomes that you're putting in, because you keep on saying, no, this isn't the right time. I will tell you when the right time, and if you can't do it, oh, well, I'm sorry. I'm going to go do it on that specific day. I know we kind of jam-packed a lot in 13 minutes. It's something that I'll probably do a part 2 about, because there's some other things, that I like to dive in, but that was sort of a broad version of it. But yeah, hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Hope everything's productive. Hope, everything's amazing. And specifically, if you want to find a way to potentially make this, find that big thing that's bigger than yourself that you're willing to take a dive into. If you don't feel like you know what you want yet and you want to find out something at least, I have a few links in the description, and it was for the sales group that I'm in. And also I have a Discord set up where when you join, it is an accountability Discord, and basically you put in all the channels have different goals throughout the week, throughout the month, and throughout the quarters. And we do Sunday calls where everybody kind of goes over what they did for the week, and if they were successful, if they weren't, how can they get better, stuff like that. And it's more or less a way that I can help you guys out as you guys help me out, because I'll also be talking about what I should have been working on. But aside from that, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. From the top of the world where boundaries still don't exist to the bottom of the depths where life still lives, do you dare to dream? As a matter of fact, do you dare to take the next step? I'll see y'all later.